In this video, we're going to look at some advantages that we can gain to selling for service companies. Companies like air conditioning, plumbing, electrical contractors that have many trucks or vans out with employees in them. Some of the key features we're going to identify are the maintenance module, the ability to assign drivers, points of interest by client, geofence by client, overspeed in a geofence, some of the reports, especially geofence in and out, point of entrance, maintenance schedule, and mileage, and of course the find closest dispatch. We want to remember that we have a full maintenance scheduling system that allows us to do very generic scheduling, as in this example where we're just going to pull the vehicle in every 6,000 miles to do the maintenance, or we can get very specific to where we actually schedule replacing engine oil, changing air filters, inspecting tires. It's really as much or as little as the client needs. Many times these small to medium fleets don't have a maintenance scheduling system, and this enables them to keep track of when the maintenance is due. Of course, we also have the history. This can be very effective for tracking different types of maintenance that are performed, the costs associated with that maintenance, as well as being able to run reports to look at which drivers perhaps have the highest maintenance costs, so we can take management action to be able to reduce those business costs. We also want to enable our customers not only to just look at and run reports based on the vehicle, but to look at drivers, because in many fleets we'll have multiple drivers assigned to the same vehicle. So the ability to assign drivers and then run reports based on the driver can be very beneficial to the business, as well as just storing information about the driver. In this case, we can see the driver information, registration, social security number, date of birth, license, and insurance information. Remember, we can have the system send out automated reminders about this, contact information in case something happens, and of course the history of what vehicles this driver has been assigned to. Another very useful feature to service companies that have set customers like landscapers, pool service companies, is to put in the customers as points of interest. This enables us to do two things. One, we can do that reverse geocode by point of interest, and then on our reports, instead of showing the customer address, you can show the customer name. The other thing that we can do with these is run that point of interest entry and exit report, and we'll be able to see when the team arrived to that address, when they left, and we can verify that they were where they were supposed to be. In addition to using the point of interest for addresses, we could also use geofences for address. In this case, we have a geofence at one customer, a geofence at another customer. By doing this, we can use the alert report, run it for geofences, and see entries and exits to those geofences, or the geofence entry and exit report. Now we'll see what time our crews arrived at that house, how long they were there, what time they left, and their durations. As opposed to using customer addresses, it's also beneficial for many service companies to put geofences around communities. There are occasions when speeding around a community can get a vendor removed or disallowed from entering there. So by creating a geofence around the community, putting a speed with it, perhaps 30 miles an hour, we can alert and take immediate action when our drivers, when our clients are speeding within there, and risk losing the business just because of poor driving behavior. So in this case, we're going to run the alert report and just look for those geofence or point of interest entry and exit alerts to see when our vehicles arrived or left a certain location. And then we'll see, we have both on this. We're using a POI and a geofence alert, and we'll see exactly what time we generated these alerts, just as a quick way to look through and make sure that our vehicles were where they were supposed to be when they were supposed to be there. We can also use the landmark entry and exit report to look at by vehicle what landmarks they entered and exited in a given period of time. So we can look by vehicle at what landmarks they entered and exited. The geofence entry and exit report can be very useful for those times when we have the geofences set up around our clients' houses, and we can see exactly what time our vehicles arrived, left, and the duration of time that they spent there. In this example, we can see this service truck left RSW, arrived at the beach hotel, left, went to Experience Naples, then the trolley yard, and for each of these we can see the amount of time that the vehicle spent there. So from a service point of view, we know exactly how long the vehicle was there. We know if they were there too long or not long enough to perform the service that they should have done. Of course, for any service company, the routing or find closest feature can be very useful. When we get a call from a particular customer or client, we have the option of typing in the address here, selecting a point on the map, or if we have our customers entered as landmarks, we can go down, select our customer address, hit locate, and we'll be able to find our closest vehicles. So if I need to dispatch a vehicle to that location, I can determine who's closest. I can even pull directions to give to the driver to be able to get him to that location. Hopefully this video has been helpful to identify some additional ways that we can assist service-based companies to provide extra value to them and to make our product an integral part of their business.